Let us pray. Most holy and eternal Father, we come this afternoon giving you thanks and praise for getting us to this portion of our week as we come to this meeting with community. And we know that you are a God of order, that you are a God that cares about law and that cares about people. We ask, Lord, that you allow this agenda to reflect your love, your care, and your concern. Bless those who serve on our Detroit Board of Police Commissioners. Bless our police officers and the citizens of this great city and those who visit. We ask, Lord, that your Holy Spirit will guide and direct us throughout all of our proceedings. In Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Reverend. And now we'll, since we don't have a quorum, we'll go straight to public comment.
Have three in the room. Have three in the room at the moment. So I'm gonna call Valerie Parker, James Ford, and Eric Lux.
Yep. If Madam Chair, through the chair, if you can have her project through the mic.
Yes, we couldn't hear very well, please.
I can start now?
Yes, please.
Hi, my name is Valerie Parker. I'm a youth activist in the Brightmoor Castle Ridge area. I'm currently precinct delegate in my area, and I'm running for city council at large for Detroit. So this is it started. For the last 6 months, it's been a situation 2 doors down from me, disrupting the community. Some kids had taken over a house 60-40 deep. I'm calling 6th precinct. They wouldn't do nothing. Community officer wouldn't do nothing for me because in the meeting, they said because I'm Republican and they don't like Bush, they weren't gonna do nothing for me. To my face. I was Republican before Bush, but I'm still community activist and I'm active and I'm a teacher. So, somebody got shot. Didn't have to be, because we was reaching out. Then the next day, that was on Dale Street, the next day, the neighbor, they still got a car shot up. The next day, police gave me a search warrant for my house. They came in my crib. Now, I'm the one who was petitioning them. I got everything on Facebook. I was telling them, trying to talk to a Chief Madison, trying to talk to Commander Newsom, when nobody giving me the time of day. So, I'm campaigning, so I'm coming home yesterday. So, I get in my car, I see a missed call. The missed call is at 1:15. So, I just dialed the number back. I said, it's Valerie Parker. I said, you called me? He said, yes. He said, I'm Sergeant Brown. He said, would you like to help with the investigation on Dale? I said, no. He said, would you like to help with the investigation on Dale? I said, no. I said, sir, we tried. We tried. That was the end of the conversation. I went home at 3 o'clock. 20 police was at my door. You had 10 cars at my door. They was geared up. They was gonna knock my door in. So they went, put me on the porch, told me if I didn't behave, that they was gonna call the ambulance and have me evaluated. So I said, they went in my house. I don't know what they did. So they come back out to a man, black man and a woman, come and give me this paper, say they got a warrant for a camera, a DVD. Well, the DVD right there, you could have got the DVD. I was trying to help the investigation. So I call him in back, Sergeant Brown. I call him back with a number. He says, it's my cell phone number. Don't call it anymore. I said, what's this number you call me on? I said, sir, I said, why did you do that? He said, because I ain't like how you talk to me. Now I'm all jacked up. I've been fighting for this community a long time. You embarrass me like that because you don't like how, now I'm a cusser. I ain't even cuss him. And because I said no, I didn't want to get involved, we traumatic. We've been having shoot for the last 2 days. When we called y'all 6th precinct, still got yet to come to my crib. That was June 28th. This year I turned 65. So in the midst of that, they playing little games. I'm 65, I could have stroked out. I already got post-traumatic stress. So we done campaigning and you want us to trust them? You want us to trust them? And I was willing to help. I was on TV. I told them that my camera was in my house. I went, but I'm campaigning. You don't like how I talk to you. Because I said no. So my question, I didn't know that if somebody asked you a question that was open and closed question, that you didn't have the right to answer to say no. And because I said no, all that manpower, all that man hours was right there, but you closing our kids' school. But you got the popo deep on me, but I'm still waiting for them to go down to that building, that
Okay,
house.
okay, ma'am, let me just stop you for 1 second. Do we have the timer? Is her
It was
time?
up there, it's
It was
on.
up, okay.
It was up.
I'm sorry,
It's all right.
every person has 2 minutes.
Okay.
Did you want to speak with our Office of Chief Investigator?
Who is that?
Right here, we could have someone if you would like to
Yes, because
file a complaint.
Yeah, but I've been filing complaints. My only thing about it is that I'm in the streets and I hear what they're saying. My turn came. Now, what you want us to do? That's all I'm saying. What you want us to do?
Okay, all right, well, thank you very much. Next speaker?
James Ford.
We're having a hard time hearing her. Is her microphone working? The green light's on? Oh, okay, that's what the problem is. 1 second, please.
Say something in it now.
It's not up to grade.
No, it's
Yeah,
not,
just
it's
use
not
that one,
working.
yeah. So we good.
We should be good.
Hello, my name is James Ford. I'd just like to say I commend the police for what they're doing. They're beginning to pull a lot of people over. They've probably been working on this for a while, for running red lights and drag racing. I've seen a lot of it, and it's really good. And every time I see that, I think about whenever they pull somebody over, they're putting their life on the line. Every time they put on that badge, they're putting their life on the line. But I'm really here to talk about the Obama weekend, which is probably the most productive weekend for children that I think that can happen. In other words, the Obama weekend is not about Michelle and Barack Obama. It's about the next Michelle and Barack Obama. In other words, we're trying to create and build an atmosphere where children can recognize good, solid, positive people, whether black, white, red, or whatever. I would just like to say this as far as talking about Michelle and Barack, the next Michelle and Barack Obama. They could be crawling around in your living room. They could be in the back seat of your car. They could be playing in the back in the seat of your car, as I said before. They could be anywhere. As a matter of fact, they could almost be in your granddaughter or daughter's womb right now, ready to grow. So that's what the Obama weekend is about. I want to say this now. What we've had a real standstill. Somebody came and dumped trash over at 6559 Grand River, where we're going to have the event. They've cut down trees, and we're just trying to get some people to understand and get a trash pickup over there to pick up this debris. We would appreciate any help that you can give, because we're not able to pay. And if that trash isn't picked up, we would not be able to have the Obama weekend, which is about children. Not about Michelle and Barack Obama. It's about the next Michelle and Barack Obama. And they can be any color: white, black, red, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Cuban, Haitian, Jamaica, anything else. That's what we're looking for. God bless everybody, and thank you for listening to me. Please try to help us get that trash up on Vinewood and Grand Boulevard.
Thank you,
Grand
sir.
River. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, appreciate it. Next speaker?
Through the chair.
Yes.
If Deputy Chief, if we can maybe work with the gentleman to connect him to some of the city services to be able to get that done, and thank you for what you're doing. We do have the flyer. I'm gonna make my best effort to get over there, and thank you for your advocacy, and thank you for what you're doing for the community. And so hopefully they can get some of the NPOs to work with you to get with the neighborhood city hall to be able to help get that trash picked up over there. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker?
Good afternoon, Board. I'm Minister Eric Blunt from Sacred Heart Catholic Church. The first two speakers kind of exemplify the problems that we face here. The First Lady had a legitimate concern about being harassed by the police. Address that, move on. The next speaker talks about trash pickup, and you give him the light of day. Why don't someone here just say, that's not why we're here? Trash pickup is to be handled some other way, some other person. But no, the systematic corruption doesn't allow citizens to go anywhere else but here to talk about trash pickup. So now we have to waste precious time when people are concerned about police officer misconduct. So, Chairperson DeWalsh, I do admire you breaking the rules again this meeting by allowing the first speaker to have more than 2 minutes. If you want to hold me to 2 minutes, so let it be. I'm about justice and equality, but I think there is a point in time where you have to bend the rules in order to address traumatic situations like the first speaker really spoke of. So I'd like to offer some ideas, if you will, because Commissioner Chairperson DeWalsh, this is your first time being chairperson. I believe every
Correction, it's my second time.
meeting, being chairperson?
Yes.
Okay, I stand corrected. I don't mind being that. I'm a grown man.
Amen.
But I think every meeting, OCI should be reporting out on what is going on and trends. Risk management should be reporting out on what officers are headed toward misconduct. And internal affairs should be reporting out on what they have found and seen. These are just my ideas of what can be improved. Thank you. I know you're shocked, right? Normally I'm just criticizing.
No, not,
But I only get 2 minutes.
thank you.
And through the chair.
Yes.
The first speaker, and I'll just speak to it. You know, she had a conversation with us and the chief investigator. And chief investigator is handling that situation. We handle citizen complaints through the office of chief investigator, and so she's getting that service that she's needed. And so I don't want to make it look like that she's being ignored. She's not being ignored in no shape, form, or fashion. She getting her concern addressed through that entity, and she would get a response through the office of chief investigator. You know, and then the trash issue. If we can help anybody in this city get some services, we'll help them. Whether it be someone having a loved one killed, whether an officer is doing something wrong. Or in anything, you know, we have on our agenda, you know, a suspension without pay, you know, that we have to deal with in closed session, and you know, and so those things can't be publicized, you know, and so we deal with a myriad of issues in the Board of Police Commission, and so I'm very, very appreciative of all the moving parts. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hello, through the chair. This is for everybody that's been on this board, through the chair, OCI, you guys. Who's been telling the city council members that there's no Detroit police officers that stay in these shelters? Because that's a lie. I've been complaining about this over a whole year, and like I said, if you all are not capable of doing your job by the law, you should get in contact with the FBI. I see this every day, and it's an issue constantly. And like Chauncey, his grandfather is he was a police officer. He worked at 3426 Mack Avenue. He was facilitating the officers, making sure they was getting their weapons back and forth. This the same one who threatened my life. Phone number, how would I know that? How do I know he have because he was following me. It's an issue when you all sit up here every week and act like nothing goes on illegally in the Detroit Police Department. I'm talking about to the highest level. It's not acceptable. Because at the end of the day, this is why you guys are here to do your job. The complaints that I made over a year ago. You know how many homeless people was unable to get beds because of this illegal corruption? This is not acceptable by no means. So can anybody answer that question? Who been telling city council, Madam Mary Sheffield, that there's no police officers in this and staying in the shelters? I like to know that. Because make it known. Have nobody contacted Miss Williams and said, come in, identify these officers. I've been speaking about this, like I said, over a whole year, constantly. I'm not on no committee. I'm not kissing nobody behind. I'm not doing no backdoor dealings. I'm speaking about equality and justice for all people. Not because you doing recruiting and they allowed to stay in the city, these shelters. It's not acceptable.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Your time is up. Thank you. Next speaker?
Good afternoon to my
Good afternoon.
commissioners. I didn't think I was going to speak today, but we have a new young lady that didn't know that I was going to get up, so that's all right, baby. I just want to congratulate my police department. They were out the other day, it was day before yesterday. Two things I want to congratulate them about. The recruiting last Saturday. Matter of fact, I was so energetic, I sent my grandchildren out there. And it was too late because they had closed up. But my granddaughter's interested in being on the police department, and my her fiance. I told some of the police that I met a couple of weeks ago that they were my grandchildren, and they came in from Alabama with a degree, and they decided they want to come back to Detroit to live. So I'm so glad for that. In the meantime, who did I see out there giving ice cream and putting ice cream on top of the cones? And I was really upset because I wasn't there. Not only was our, what's his name? Yeah, Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald was out there just stacking the ice cream on. I said, oh my God, why can't I be there? And then we had the Washington. He was out there they was doing a heck of a good job giving out that ice cream. It was a good day for them. But what I want to say is, and I said it over and over again, we must control these youngsters. They're running amok in our city. This is our city to appreciate and love. And I get tired of telling you guys every week that I'm upset about the crime that's infested our city. Now, we must be more, well, the parents especially, because I raised 5, and I'm very proud of mine, and they're very intelligent. But the fact is, we must encourage these parents to do more for your children. If they're staying at home especially, take care of what they're doing, and I'm going. And do your job as a parent. I did mine. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker?
We're gonna go into Zoom. Caller with last digits 076.
Hello. Can I be heard? Hello.
Your volume is really low.
Can I be heard now? Hello. Hello. Can I be heard now?
No.
Your volume is still too low, sir.
Is it on our end?
Could you,
Yeah, I turn it up in the
Can I be heard?
oops.
Heard now?
no, we're still having a hard time. Is it on our end by any chance? No.
I'm trying.
Oh, now we can hear you, sir.
Could y'all hear me now?
Yes, we can.
My name is Ramon Jackson, and I'm an advocate in the city of Detroit. I'm calling because there's some very concerning issues. First is I caught the city cheating our elected officials, which appoints this board here. Now, I'm not going to say that this board is not righteous, but I'm saying that we've got facts that the city officials has been cheated in. I'm calling about the Detroit Police Department and how they are writing reports with no post-education, meaning that they have no education past high school diplomas, most of them. And they're writing mental health reports, getting people committed. I'm calling about particularly a situation with Linda Little and her husband, Brian Little. Officer Rebecca McConnell and Officer Ben Biddle wrote diagnosis reports. They're writing reports on people, putting these reports, getting people either committed or getting people justice impeded with no post-education. That needs to stop. The police officers in Detroit should not be writing mental health reports on people, should not be getting people committed to mental health hospitals or writing mental health diagnosis in reports to impede on investigation. They all should look into that matter with Ben Biddle and Rebecca O'Connell, little versus little. It's a very, very, I don't even call about personal situations, but it's a very, very disruptive, and it's a very, very atrocious situation going on, and it needs to stop.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Excuse me, if I may, through the chair. Can you respond to his concerns?
That's up to you.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Yeah, it was difficult to understand. You need a microphone too. But
Through the chair.
Yes.
I think he was speaking about his dissatisfaction with Detroit police officers writing up cases that are causing citizens to be committed, mental health cases. He was drawing that to a lack of education for certain officers and saying that they aren't qualified to write these reports.
Through the chair, is that better?
Yes.
I'm not sure if this is going to hold up, but I'll do my best. So if he's referring to a petition to a mental health facility, that is written due to observations that an officer makes where somebody could be in danger to others or danger to themselves. So if that's what he's referring to, that's based on observations and experience. That might work. Maybe. This one's thanks. That petition is then evaluated by a mental health facility. For example, if we believe that somebody could harm themselves or somebody else, we would write out the petition, and then that would be taken to a mental health facility, a crisis center, and then the evaluation would be made by a mental health professional.
that mic's not on, incidentally.
Okay.
Speakers.
We have a quorum.
Yes, we have a quorum, and I'd like to go into the meeting if that's good. Thank you. Thank you so much. At this time, I'm going to call the meeting to order and have the roll call and the introduction of commissioners.
Commissioner DeWalsh,
Present.
Commissioner Woods,
Present.
Commissioner Bernard,
Attorney Linda Bernard, District 2, present.
Commissioner Banks excused, Commissioner Bell,
Present, District 4.
Commissioner Burton excused, Commissioner Carter, Commissioner Moore excused, Commissioner Presley,
Here.
six present, ma'am.
Thank you. We have a quorum. So I'd like to ask for a motion to approve the July 24th agenda.
So move.
Through the chair. Well, I guess that happens in discussion. I'm sorry.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is any discussion?
Yes, through the chair. I would like to amend the agenda to move a new business directly after the chief of police report. We have a fragile quorum here, and I would like for us to be able to handle the business that needs to be taken care of before a quorum is no longer sustainable.
So move.
Okay, it's been moved. Is there a second?
Second. Well, he moved
He
and
moved
I
and
second.
you seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, and you said that would be right after the
Chief of police report.
chief of police report. Okay, thank you. Next, we have approval of the minutes for July 17th, 2025. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And now, if we could have introductions of the BOPC staff, chief of police, et cetera. Thank you. Board Secretary?
Madam Chair, registered at this time are the following: Corporation Counsel Conrad Mallett, Chief Investigator Jerome Warfield, Drew Freeze, Felicia Tyson, Mary Barber, Candace Hayes, Armesia Joshua, and Dior Mathis. Office of Chief Investigator Office Supervising Investigator Elgin Murphy. DPD HR Director Katrina Patillo. For the Office of Chief of Police, Deputy Chief Carrie Sloan. Our interpreters today are Ms. Yakata and Dr. Stephanie Beatty. Court reporter Don Handyside, Enrique Jackson. for audiovisual, and Charles Henry for media services. Registered elected officials or representatives are I don't see Marie Overall. Is Frida Butler, 2nd Precinct Community Relations President, LaDon Davis, via Zoom of the Office of Councilmember Fred Durholm. Ron Thomas, President, Detroit Police Officers Association, and former Detroit Police Commissioner William Davis by Zoom, and Scotty Bowman via Zoom. Those are all registered at this time, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And at this time, under the officer's report, we have a resolution honoring,
Excuse me, Madam
Yes.
Chair, through the chair. I think you weren't through with public comment yet, were we?
we'll go back to it
Oh.
on the agenda, yeah. We'll go back, we have a couple more, probably. At this time, we have a resolution, and I'd ask Commissioner Presley if he would please read it.
Sure. Thank you. Through the chair. Resolution honoring Lieutenant Ronald Lockhart. Whereas Lieutenant Ronald Lockhart was appointed to the department on January 20th, 1986. That's the year I was born. After a successful completion of the police academy, he began his admirable career assigned to the 8th Precinct. He has been assigned to various commands, including Internal Control, Eastern Operations, 10th Precinct Training, Technical Support, Communications Operations, Internal Affairs, Northwestern District, 6th Precinct, and the 11th Precinct Investigative Operations Unit. He was promoted to the rank of sergeant on July the 6th, 1995, and to the rank of lieutenant on January 22nd, 1999. On March 6th, 2017, he was assigned to the 2nd Precinct, which is his current assignment. And whereas, as an officer in his various commands, he was responsible for coordinating efforts to reduce crime and patrol response times. He was also accountable for increasing positive relations with the city's communities and business stakeholders where he served. And whereas, during his career, Lieutenant Lockhart was the recipient of several meritorious awards, commendations, citations, and letters of appreciation from citizens of Detroit. He received the All-Star Game Award, Rosa Parks Award, Super Bowl Award, Confinement Judgment Award, Ford Fireworks Award, and the Conclusion of Consent Judgment Award. And whereas he served the Detroit Police Department and the citizens of the city of Detroit with loyalty, professionalism, integrity, and dedication, he is highly respected throughout the law enforcement community. Through his sharing of procedural knowledge, skills, and techniques, he has contributed to the development of many officers. Now therefore be it resolved that the Detroit Board of Police Commissioners, speaking on behalf of the citizens of the great city of Detroit, recognizes and honors the lifelong contributions and commitment to excellence in public service of Lieutenant Ronald Lockhart. His display of unwavering community spirit has improved the quality of life for the citizens of Detroit. We thank and congratulate you. I move that this resolution be adopted to our archives.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Yep. Have we looked at the background of this person? Have you got that information to us?
The incoming communication from the chief's office included a number of commendations and recommendations by the chief.
Well, I'm
as
saying,
far as the background,
yes. Have you?
it's my understanding that
Excuse me. Listen clearly. Have we looked at the background in terms of having went to the office of chief investigator to see what the background is? We have given commendations and have to retract some of them. And if he have a good background, it's good. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So have we done that?
Madam Chair, I see the commissioner. Am I to respond or?
Through the chair?
Yes,
Yeah,
through the chair.
absolutely.
Heretofore, the procedure has not been to send to the Office of the Chief Investigator. This is a recommendation of the Chief of Police. I reached out to the chair, who approved this to be placed on the agenda. If the process is to be corrected, as always, I will follow the edict the guidance and advice of the board
It's
to check.
Excuse me. It's always the practice since I've been the chair to make sure that we check the background.
No, it is not.
Ever since I've been the chair, and that was my practice as the chair when those come on the agenda, that we make sure we look at the background, because it won't have any embarrassment on the board. You know what I'm saying? But if the chair is comfortable with this, there's not a problem.
If I may,
Yes.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
heretofore, it has been my occasion since taking this assignment in this role. On one occasion, there was an inquiry and it was done and a resolution was pulled. It was not processed or procedure within the BOPC office to send recommendations for commendations because as I was handed off the information by my immediate predecessor, Mr. Brown, who would also compose and draft most of the resolutions, was that it was thoroughly vetted by the chief's office. So again, if it is the wish of this board to add that to the process prior to presenting upon receipt from the chief's office, I will so follow. But that has been the procedure. I was handed off and given to me, and we followed to this point.
So, go ahead, Commissioner.
Well, I'll defer till after Commissioner Bell
I don't
speaks.
think it's the board. All my years of serving on the board for 12 years, that is not an issue. We go by the chief recommendation. This is retirement, this is wrong. And we give a whole lot of resolution to different individuals in this community. I have a whole lot of concern, but we don't challenge that out. We let it stand, so.
Well, that's totally different. We, like you said, we have pulled them through the chair. And I'll just say let's vet what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? That's as simple as that, you know.
So it's my understanding,
Is this gentleman
one
retiring?
second. It's my understanding that you just got this recommendation yesterday? Or when did you get it?
I was contacted today
Okay, today.
by Chief of Staff on behalf of the Chief of Police, and there were a number of commendations regarding this particular officer. I mean, some of the highest honors that I hadn't seen on some of the others, if I may add that. And upon that, because the retirement is upcoming, I was asked to reach out to you, Madam Chair, as I did and followed it. And that's why you approved placing it on the agenda, because I don't just put it on the agenda.
Madam Chair, I
and
actually
it's
called
my
a question.
understanding that everything was fully
Wait,
Hey,
one
on the
second,
time,
one
I actually
second.
called a question.
Okay.
Oh.
One second. So moving forward, we will discuss getting those recommendations for resolutions sooner so that we can do some kind of vetting on our end. But I would just say that's moving forward.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
if I may.
Wait, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Let Commissioner
Madam
speak.
Chair, this is a person who's retiring, as I understand it. We have never, ever gone back through someone's record who retired after, what is this, from 1986 to 2025? Somebody can do the math probably quicker than I can, and looked into what they did. This man is retiring. He's provided services to the city of Detroit and to this department, and he has obviously done a good enough job to stay here for 30-some years. So I'm just saying, this is highly irregular. We have never, ever, ever, even when I was the lawyer for the board, ever looked into the background of a retiree.
Corporation Counsel Mallett?
Madam Chairperson, I would only suggest that the board act by resolution. If this is going to be the process that the board wants to follow, we make a motion, second it, and vote, and then the secretary will follow it, and this will be behind it.
Good idea.
You know, I would be inclined to agree with Commissioner Bernard that if it's a retirement, that's different than a promotion or any other kind of a resolution. So I agree. I don't think that there needs to be any vetting on our end if it's a retirement.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Through the chair. But he said we vote by resolution. That'll be by the majority vote. You know, the fact of the matter is that you just don't. You want to be careful in terms of what you put your name on. You know, and so, but we won't belabor the moment. You know, and we can vote. You know, now whatever. You know, but I would incline to say that you have to do your vetting and do your due diligence.
Okay, the motion has been made, it's seconded, and our discussion is, I'm calling for the question, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
No.
Yep.
The motion carries. Thank
And
you.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make another motion in response to what was just said. When the chief gives us resolutions honoring officers who have served the department and who are retiring, it is not required for the commission to vet that decision any further. A 25-year, a 30-year, whatever it is, retirement is a retirement, and the officer deserves the recognition.
Commissioner,
It's unfortunate.
That's a motion.
Sorry.
are you making
Just
a
on-
motion?
Go ahead. Yeah, I made the motion. Go ahead. Will you second the motion? Okay.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion?
Madam, it's unfortunate at this particular time, this resolution.
Can you speak into the mic, please?
It's unfortunate that this resolution has been passed and voted on, and we bring something up of this nature. It's totally inappropriate. It's just really, as a retiree of this department, and I understand the process, some of you understand the process, they earn this. So we not gonna challenge the chief of police and go through a process, in my opinion. Thank you.
Through the chair.
Go ahead.
It's all about doing our job. You know, I'm not challenging the chief or questioning the chief. This is the Board of Police Commission. We need to do our job, you know, and we need to vet stuff, you know. And so I won't belabor the moment, though.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor indicate by saying.
That discussion is continue. So
Go ahead, Commissioner.
I'm unclear. So we saying that this happens as a result of the chief's recommendation. Are there other accommodations that the chief actually provides to the retiring officer?
Right.
In this particular one, there are other commendations that the chief will be bestowing on this officer. I'm not sure what happened administratively, as it was explained to me today. And as you know, administratively, sometimes things get a little delayed because they go through a number of signatures. And so when I was asked, I did due diligence to reach out to the chair as was requested. But yes, there are other commendations, and I can send that to the board members who would like to have.
I don't know if my question was clear. So I'm clear on the accommodations because some of those are listed here. It was my understanding that the chief would make us aware of people who are retiring, and it's the board's prerogative on whether or not we choose to honor that individual or not. I just wasn't clear that the chief is not telling us, but basically
He told him.
yeah.
Recommendation.
Okay, so it's the chief is making a recommendation, and we make a resolution according to that chief's recommendation.
Right.
Okay, so yeah.
And request for resolution, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
Okay, a motion is on the floor. It's been made and seconded. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed?
No.
No.
I think the motion carries. Thank you. Now we're going to the chief's police.
Through the chair, can
Yes,
you restate
Commissioner.
the motion? What was the motion to carry?
To
Linda?
approve the resolution.
It was, your motion was
As to,
not to have to vet
yeah,
people have
get
reached.
resolved that the Detroit Board of Police Commissioners, speaking on behalf of the citizens, recognizes and
no.
honors.
The motion that you just made was not to have to vet
No.
recommendations by the chief of police for those who have retired.
Related to retirements.
Wow.
Absolutely not.
That was the motion.
It's not an industry. You get your gold watch, you get your gold watch. It's not, nobody objects after you've given years of your life to service.
Okay, the motion carries. All right. Next, the chief of police report. Thank you, DC.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, I'll try to be as loud as I can through the chair. First of all, thank you for allowing me to be here today and place
Yeah, we're
medicine.
not able to hear.
You can't hear you.
Maybe that one.
All right, hold it. How's that? Okay, we'll try that again. Thank you very much for allowing me to be here today to represent the department and the chief of police. So our crime numbers are heading in the right direction. We keep continuing our strategy and working toward
Hey,
decrease.
I'm sorry, excuse me. We're having a little bit of difficulty hearing, so please, let's give the DC our attention.
Again, the crime numbers continue to go in the right direction. We're still working our strategy to continue those decreases, but today I'm happy to report that our total Part 1 violent crime is down 8%. Homicides are down 19%. Non-fatal shootings are down 33%. Robberies are down 13%, and carjackings are down 31%. So we're proud of those numbers, but we're going to continue to work to decrease crime numbers further. Some community updates. Last week, our neighborhood police officers from Chief's Neighborhood Liaison patrolled the 12th precinct. Officers addressed blight in the area, abandoned vehicles, parking violations, and conducted Project Greenlight business checks and stopped by community barbecues. On Monday, July 24th, 2025, the Chief of Police and members of the executive team appeared before City Council to speak about increasing the fine for parental responsibility for curfew violators. This proposal was announced in a press conference with Mayor Duggan earlier this month. Since then, we have seen a decrease in teen violence, and we want to thank the community and all of our partners for addressing the issues of teen violence. This remains our top priority in the department. Walk a Mile Wednesday occurred on Wednesday, July 23rd. Oh, yep, that was yesterday, along with the Detroit Police Department and citizens through the 8th precinct. Residents were able to speak to the chief regarding issues in their neighborhood, so stay tuned to our department's social media pages for Walk a Mile Wednesday next time. A promotional ceremony will be held on Friday, July 25th at 6 p.m. at Greater Grace Temple, located at 23500 West 7 Mile in Detroit. The department will hold a promotional and appointment ceremony for 15 members, which the Board of Police Commissioners have approved. This is a great way to recognize and celebrate these members as they take the next step in their careers. On Saturday, July 19th, 2025, the department's recruiting unit held a one-day hiring event at the training center located at 6050 Linwood in Detroit. 402 people attended the event, and 352 of those were applying for police officer positions. We want to thank everybody that attended, our recruiting unit, and everyone who worked to make this a successful event. And we want to remind everybody that we are still hiring, and anyone that is interested in applying to the police department can visit joindetroitsfinest.org, and that is for both professional staff and sworn officers. Okay. All right, that concludes this report.
Thank you. Are there any questions for the chief? Go ahead, Commissioner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The one of the individuals who is leaving the department, who, as I understand it, it says that they have resigned. They're a student in the academy. Quote, no family support. What can we do about that, or can we do anything?
There are, ma'am, through the chair.
Yes.
There are a lot of resources available to our student police officers. We offer a variety of aids to get them through the academy, whether it be mental health, could be physical health. And sometimes there are issues that are inside the home and personal issues that we do try to assist on. This specific issue, I'm not sure what the details are, but we do have employee aid that somebody could go to for situations where they needed aid with childcare or possibly homelessness. So there are a lot of services available through the department.
Could you check on that if you don't mind?
Absolutely.
And let us know if there's anything that you were able to do later. Okay, thank you, because it looks sad to me.
Any other questions? Thank you, Commissioner. Any others? Yes, Commissioner Bell.
My understanding, Deputy Chief, that homicide rate is down nationally. Is that accurate?
Yes, that is, through the chair.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you so much for your report.
Thank you.
At this time, we move,
The question?
yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry. One of your reports indicates that you, someone had just purchased the house and found a skeletal remains inside of the garage. What's that about?
That's correct, ma'am, through the chair. That did occur a couple of days ago. A new homeowner did find skeletal remains in the garage of the home. Our homicide unit went out and is investigating that case. So there's not been a determination yet on the cause of death.
Or who it is?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Hearing none, then we moved new business to come after the chief of police's report. And so, under new business, we have a closed session pursuant to Section 8A of the Open Meetings Act, MCL 115-268A, the department's request for the board to consider administratively without pay but medical benefits for police officer Ahmad Al-Jabori, badge 249, assigned to the 12th precinct. So is there a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, we're going into closed session. Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Present.
Commissioner Bernard,
Present.
Commissioner Banks excused, Commissioner Bell,
Present.
Commissioner Burton excused, Commissioner Carter, Commissioner Moore excused, Commissioner Presley,
Here.
Commissioner Smith excused. You have 6 present, ma'am.
Thank you. What is the pleasure of the board?
Madam Chair, I make a motion to accept the chief recommendation to change the duty status for police officer Ahmad Al-Jabari, badge number 249, assigned to the 12th precinct to administrative leave without pay but with medical benefits.
There's, motion has been made and seconded by whom? Commissioner Bernard?
Just that, Madam Chair, I don't believe, as you know.
We're having discussion.
We haven't approved the motion yet.
No, motion was made and seconded.
Yes.
Discussion. Okay.
I think it's an oxymoron to say that taking someone's salary and benefits is not punishment. It is clearly punishment. It would be punishment for any one of us in this room. And it affects, as I've said, I don't know if you've heard me before, it affects the ability of, it doesn't just affect that person, it affects children, wives, etc. And it affects their long-term ability to function in society because it affects your credit rating, your income, your house payment, your car payment, etc. I don't believe that circumstances that draconian are warranted in this case. Everyone has an opinion, of course, on facts as they develop, as I would, of course. And everyone's opinion is always 20/20. I mean, it's, after an event, your hindsight is always 20/20. Well, you could do this, you could do that, you could do anything. But at the time, I think in every circumstance, Madam Chair, we have to look at the facts in the eyes of the person who was involved and what their perception was of what their danger was. So that's just my comment. So I would be opposed to the recommendation that has been made by the chief.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
2/3, so
We have to have a roll call.
Commissioner Woods,
Yes.
Commissioner Bernard,
No.
Commissioner Bell,
Yes.
Commissioner Carter, Commissioner Presley,
yes.
Commissioner DeWalsh.
Yes. The motion carries. Thank you. And at this time, we're going to move back to oral communications. Oral communication. Do we have some people? Okay,
We have 5 more in the room.
go ahead.
First person, Adam Barrett.
Adam Barrett, I live in District 6. It's become obvious to those of us who monitor and document the activities of ICE. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, could you speak, a little bit more into the microphone?
Yeah, thanks. It's become obvious to those of us who monitor and document the activities of ICE that they or their civilian contractor pals have been using multiple license plates on the unmarked vehicles that they use to infiltrate our neighborhoods in their attempts to snatch unsuspecting people off of our streets. They started doing this probably to thwart our efforts to identify and track them. Clearly, license plate swapping is not legal in Detroit or anywhere else for obvious reasons. Since there's been some pushback against citizens calling for the police department to have less involvement with ICE activities, maybe we can at least ask the police to do something to make sure that ICE is at bare minimum adhering to the most basic laws. This is like kidnapper behavior, right? So I don't think we should allow government agents to do it or government contractors to do it if we don't let the general public do it. So that's my ask. Thanks.
Thank you. DC, I'm curious, is that something that is allowed?
Through the chair, I'm not aware that this is something that they're using as a practice, but it depends on a lot of factors. So I would need more information to understand the use of the vehicle. Sometimes there are exceptions to rules due to different types of use of the vehicle. So I would just need more information to understand.
Through the chair.
Okay, go ahead.
Can I
Commissioner.
clarify what that response was to? I don't know if I'm understanding your request as well. Were you saying, is it allowed for ICE to be changing license plates? Or is it
Yes.
allowed for DPD to?
Allow that
Okay.
to happen
So which
and
one?
not do anything about it.
Okay, so so for that point, does DPD have any authority to monitor ICE if they are indeed changing license plates?
Through the chair, authority, while we would enforce the general rules of civil infraction on the roads of the city of Detroit, there are exceptions to uses of vehicles that we would not enforce on, but it's not something that I'm aware that we're currently tracking.
Thank you.
Thank you. That makes it clear. Thank you, sir. Any other speakers?
Next speaker, Elena Harad.
Elena Herrada.
Alana.
Thank you. I appreciate the commissioner pronouncing my name. She can give you some lessons. I want to just raise a couple of things here. One of them is on July the 3rd, Detroit police entered Prince Valley Market on Michigan Avenue and arrested 2 women and took them out and handed them over to ICE. These arrests were captured on social media, but also one of the women was an older woman who is diabetic, and the other one was a young woman with small children, and both of them have already been deported. This was the Detroit police entering the store and bringing out the 2 women. That's on July the 3rd. I just wanted to raise that. The second question that I have is, what's happening to the cars? Because when people are detained, particularly if they don't have a driver's license, because as you know, undocumented persons cannot get a driver's license, thus cannot get a car in their name. What happens to the cars? Who got that towing contract? I was just wondering what happens to those who have been detained, and there have been many. Do we know what happens to their cars? Thank you.
Okay, I'll refer that to DC.
Thank you.
Through the chair, yes, ma'am. So there are procedures that are in place for any vehicle that is impounded due to a person being arrested. It can be towed by a private tower or by Detroit Police Tow, authorized tow. Those vehicles are taken to our tow lots, and there is a process and a procedure in place to have that vehicle released. So it would depend on the situation.
Okay.
I have a
Commissioner
question.
Bernard.
If you are arresting someone and that means their vehicle will not be, they can't take their vehicle, that is supposed to be a police tow. It's not supposed to be a private tow.
Yeah, I apologize, ma'am, through the chair. I meant to say Detroit Police
So that
authorized
makes it
tow.
much
I
easier
apologize
to
for
get
that.
it back.
I want to actually add something else. The person who has been detained does not have the title in their name. Someone else has title of that car. Someone else has, they may not have a key, and they may not know what happened to them, and the person who was arrested doesn't have any way to communicate that to the person who owns the car. Thus, the impound fee is building, and they have lost a piece of valuable property that has been seized.
Through the chair.
Commissioner Bernard and then Commissioner.
That person, the Detroit Police Department only has 2 tow yards. They keep an extensive record, if you will, on every vehicle that is towed, as they're legally required to do. And if a vehicle is missing and Detroit towed it, it's going to be in one of those 2 yards. And then then that person, whoever wants to claim it, has to provide whatever information the state requires you to have in order to claim a vehicle that's in a tow yard, a certificate of title, anything like that, or registration.
Thank you.
Commissioner Woods.
Understanding.
Thank you. Commissioner Woods.
Through my understanding, and you can verify this with the Attorney General's office, because they put something out as relates to that, and they came present before the Board of Police Commission several weeks ago. My understanding is, and you correct me if I'm wrong, DC, that once a car is taken in, that they have to make contact with folks, and that's by law, and so can you explain that process?
Yes, sir, through the chair. So efforts are required to be made in order to contact the registered owner of that vehicle, or even the titled owner. In that case, once efforts are made, and if somebody comes forward and there's some type of hardship, so there are processes that are in place to allow for waivers of fees for tow and storage.
Commissioner Presley.
Thank you, through the chair. I think we're burying the lead here. Are we aware of this incident, the fact that DPD officers retrieved individuals and then turned them over to ICE?
Through the chair, that's not a particular incident that I have knowledge about. I will have to check into that, but as the department stands, we do not enforce immigration. So there would be some more information that I would need to be able to better answer that.
Thank you. And to the public citizen, is there a way that you can forward whatever video you said captured that? So
I will.
Follow up on that.
Thank
Thank
you.
Oh, we do have it? Okay, yeah, so we can send it to the chief investigator office so we can look into that.
Okay, thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Saraba.
I appreciate it. We know how dangerous mothers and diabetic grandmothers can be. Thank you. We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, next speaker.
Next speaker, Glenda McGatney.
Good afternoon. My name is Glenda McGatney, and I just want to provide some information. Earlier there was a caller, and I'm sure they're probably not on the line, but this had to do with mental illness and officers who are writing up these reports. There needs to be proper training. In my neighborhood, 5 years ago, we had a neighbor who was being harassed, and this happened for more than 3.5 years. And finally, this year, well, that particular neighbor who was harassing him went to jail, and then the judge told him when he got out 2 months later, you are not to cross the street to harass this other neighbor. And it had to do with a racial issue. And now my fantastic neighbor who'd been there for 5 years finally moved out about a week ago. because of this continual harassment. Officers need to know there is a Detroit Police Department crisis intervention team, and that's who people need to contact. The number is 313-267-2047. That's the Detroit Police Department Crisis Intervention Team. 313-267-2047. I got this information October of last year. We needed it when the first incident happened, and we did not get it. And so this progressed to almost 5 years. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next speaker.
Victoria Camille.
Good afternoon, Board.
Good afternoon.
Victoria Camille, District 7. A couple items for you today. So the first one is just a follow-up on the resolution that the Board passed on June 26th regarding DPD not cooperating with ICE. The appropriate process is for, after a resolution is approved, for the staff to then update that resolution at the bottom, indicating that the Board of Police Commissioners approved the resolution and on what date, and then that needs to be published for the public so that it's complete for the record. So if we could make sure that that occurs, that would be wonderful. The other thing is that I would like to remind the board that you answer to the residents, not the chief of police, even when we have a good one. And I would ask the board to actually reconsider if you should be doing resolutions for members of the department at all. And then if you do, to really set some thoughtful criteria for which types of members you would want to elevate and recognize, such as those who are supporting transparency and accountability, like those who are adhering to a duty to intervene, might be a good piece of criteria to recognize members of the department who are doing that. And then the last thing I would like to remind you, I brought this up last week. In October 2023, a member of the public was shot by an officer responding to a drag racing event, which I do just want to say that drag racing should not be occurring, and those are very dangerous situations. However, a judge has now seen the body-worn camera footage 2 years later and characterized it as officers acting like cowboys, looking for an excuse to pull their guns. And officers, even in the most stressful situations, should be adhering to policy, and the public needs to understand what occurred in that situation. We need to see the full body-worn camera footage and understand if there was policy broken or anything illegal that occurred from the officers, why that was not addressed. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Next speaker.
Rain.
How are you doing today?
Good.
Good, thank you.
Okay, I had a stroke and now I have aphasia and a practice, so it will take time. I'm so sorry. Okay. All right.
If you could just speak a little closer to the speaker, please.
Okay. My dad raped me. He raped me. And the police did nothing. Period. Then, they took my house, my dad's house. They took my mama's house, right, and my grandma's house, and now they're trying to take my house. Okay. Then, because I have a disability, because I can't speak, it's hard. Before that, I was a speaker. I'm a minister. I can't do it anymore because the doctor didn't do the job. They give me money. Where is that money? I don't know. I need you to find out. I can't speak now, so I need that money. I had two lawyers. They took my money. Thank you. So, it has to be due process. I don't have that. I'm not sure why. Because it's hard for me to speak. That's why. I don't know. I really don't know. But I need you to find out. I had 2 lawyers and they took all my money. I had real estate. Okay? My mom and my dad had a house. My grandma had a house. In Detroit, Chicago, I had a house. Where is it? My dad and me, we had stocks. So we took the rent, right? And so we say we're going to grow that rent. Excuse me. Where is that money? He died 3 years ago. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4 lawyers to do this. I'm not sure, but I need you to find out. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am, is this something that you've reported already to the police department?
Yes. Well, when my dad raped me, I called the police. Before that, I said he's very sick. So we go to the doctor. And the doctor did nothing. I mean, they say, oh, he didn't do this. The doctor didn't know. The doctor did not know.
Okay.
And so no. Then I said,
Ma'am, we're going to try to see if we can get DC to have someone speak with you and follow up on these complaints that you've filed.
Thank you so much.
Okay? Right here. The officer's going to speak with you. Thank you. Next speaker.
We're gonna go into Zoom. Mr. William Davis.
Good afternoon. Can I be heard?
Yes, you may.
Okay, I think that perhaps y'all should think about having a social worker at some of your meetings. Also, I think that there's an ongoing problem, and I keep getting reports all over the city about officers. There might be 2 officers that might stop a young black person in a newer vehicle, and as soon as they stop them, have them get out the vehicle, and they handcuff them. At one time, police weren't so quick to always handcuff, especially a young person. Sometimes I might tell you go sit on the curb or what have you, and try to check things out or whatever. It seems like there's a greater tendency now to handcuff young black people, or maybe brown people too, but I know especially young black people. I get reports all over the city. And also, I still get reports about police officers like bum rushing young people coming out of the gas stations and party stores and looking for guns. I think that it's a very sad time if officers think just because somebody's black or young that they got to have a gun on. I think it's a sad time if we allow stuff like this to continue, especially in so much that a lot of our police officers now do not live in the city and not as familiar with our people. Sometimes I think that could create a problem. Also, I think I need to do something to help to encourage more Board of Police Commissioners to actually show up and attend the meetings. Y'all really need to explore options. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Next speaker.
Tara Brown.
Good evening, Commission. This has been a pretty interesting meeting. I'm sitting here just listening to some of the stuff that was addressed. Imagine being a black woman and coming to a BOPC meeting and announcing you're a Republican to cry about how the police are storming and raiding your house. Ain't that what you voted for? The other thing is, I want to salute Woods for finally stepping it up and challenging. Because before you all are rubber stamping these resolutions from the chief of police, you all certainly should be vetting these officers, whether they're retiring or not. Everybody should retire. You don't get an award at the end every time. And maybe that's the case in some of these resolutions. I'm not saying that the officer today that was recognized doesn't deserve one, but I'm sure in the past there have been some that should have been checked that were not. And the other thing I wanted to raise, Miss Williams has been coming here for a year talking about police and shelters. I'm on the board of the COC and I don't know and can't confirm that she's not telling the truth. I don't know if she is or not, but I think that's something that should be looked in. And the reason that I'm raising this and it all ties in together is because some of you back in February were standing up here in this very same room with the mayor talking about Tatiana Williams, not the same as Williams in the audience, and about how her children died and how things were going to get better with the 7-point plan. And one of the reporters with the Associated Press, Ed White, made reference to a shelter that was deplorable. And again, I can't say it enough. The mayor called it nonsense, and it absolutely was not nonsense. But part of that vetting process, and maybe Mr. Woods, you should look into it too. You were right there with the mayor, and you walked through the house with a person whose background you should have been vetting. Yes, look your gift horses in the mouth. Because people giving away houses and stuff usually have ulterior motives, and you all should have checked into that and vetted that person as well. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
The
Next
la-
speaker.
The last caller is listed as Mr. Overwith.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can.
Conrad Mallett Jr. Now, Darrell Woods is sitting up there as the vice chair on the Board of Police Commissioners. But the board voted, when he was the chairperson, to subpoena the first time. They voted twice to subpoena from the Detroit Police Department the Michigan State Police report of their investigation into DPD case 20-11112 on a Thursday evening. Well, the Friday morning, Darrell Woods went into the Board of Police Commissioner's office and instructed the acting secretary then to not start the subpoena process. That was the first time. And instead sent an official letter to the Michigan State Police because he had been talking to some people over at the Michigan State Police, and they were furnished the report. Well, they did. They furnished a redacted version. So, again, the board voted, but this time to subpoena the unredacted version. It passed, and there's been no unredacted version presented to the board to the best of my knowledge. Now, Conrad Mallett, Kanisha Coleman did not shoot herself. DPD case 20-11112, and there are 3 leading forensic experts throughout the United States of America that agree the angle and trajectory that bullet traveled, no gun stipplings on the entry wound, and other matters conclusively demonstrate Kanisha didn't shoot herself. And I told the DPD homicide unit who the killer was. Now, I got some stuff to talk about, and I'm going to do it this weekend. I'm outside, back outside.
Thank you. Next speaker.
It's all done.
That's the final one? Thank you. Is there a presentation to the board, secretary? No, ma'am, okay. Next is the report from the board secretary.
The report today, Madam Chair, are the upcoming meetings. Also, the announcement in your binders today, once again, is the memorandum from the Personnel and Training Committee that was held on yesterday. The job announcement for the vacancies within the BOPC, together with a copy of the flyer, are there for your sharing and for your convenience. Also, the upcoming meetings are as printed, and next week, towing committee meeting is next Wednesday, 4 p.m. here at Detroit Public Safety Headquarters in the Woodward Room. And that would be the end of the report for today.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Is there any unfinished business? Hearing none, what's the pleasure of the board?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you for your attendance.